All right. Barb?
Sherry? KK? Tom?
Yep.
Bernie?
Here.
Barb's here. Beth? Here. Richard?
Here.
Steve? Larry Rare? Sorry, Larry.
Yes, we have Mr. Schwanger back there. All right, looking over April's minutes. Any corrections, deletions?
Nay.
If not, need a motion to approve.
We accept.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Jason, Mills Creek?
All right, Ryan is not here. I've got some updates for the golf course and a few other things from his plate. Let's see. Everything is on track and scheduled for installation of the new bridge at the golf course. If there are no issues or delays, the project should start around the 4th of July with a 6-week time frame for the work. So we're hoping to have that in. I think Labor Day would be a safe assumption, but it depends on weather and, how the rain goes and how the creek gets over there. So hopefully they can get to work on that. The new irrigation panel and pump have been installed. That's the PLC panel that operates the irrigation system over there. So we're working on some of the leaks that are popping up with that because there's a little bit more pressure in the system when that's running. And we've got Century coming out to take a look at that to make sure the satellites are working correctly with the new panel. It's another upgrade for that system that's probably over 30 years old, so we're looking forward to having that. That's more so it'll run in the middle of the night, in the early morning, so it's just scheduled, and our guys don't have to manually go out there and turn on and turn off the sprinklers, so that'll be good. And then we did install a new NatureWorks sign as part of the cart path project at hole number 1. We had to get that through ODNR, and that's part of our grant, reporting for the grant. We need to have that sign up there for, to show that was grant funded. First youth golf camp session started Tuesday, not Monday. It was supposed to start Monday, but there was weather. And then all 3 sessions are nearly full, so that must mean there's some spots available if you want to sign up for that. And that's everything golf course related. I have a couple more updates that come up later, but that's all I have for right now, for Ryan.
We can skip. You said Tyler's coming?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, come back to her.
I can at least speak to in youth programming. The Whiteman Weber Safety Town is, we have 40 kids signed up for the morning and 12 for the afternoon session. I've had some people reach out via phone, text, wanting to get signed up for that. So I'm sure that will fill up. Hopefully both sessions will fill up by the second week in August when we have that camp. And had the first Mama Collins track meet on Monday. And we're going to try and get more promotion out there to the newspaper and radio. Only about 15 kids. Is that what?
Yes.
So hopefully, the first one always seems to be a little bit slower than the word gets out. And by the week 4, you have so many kids that, or the 4th one.
Who did?
There's Tundra. Oh, and then Ryan wanted me to mention our first movie night is Monday, featuring IF. It's actually IF, Imaginary Friend. Align Data Centers will be there as well. They're our sponsor for this year's series. And I haven't seen that one. Is that the one with Ryan Reynolds as the voice? Oh. Come on, it's a kid's movie.
I don't watch TV. I don't watch movies.
Imaginary Friend? Isn't Ryan Reynolds the voice? Mm-hmm. Okay, so that'll be, our first one's Monday, weather permitting. And as soon as Tundra is settled in, I'll kick things over to her for the other parts of youth programming.
Okay, so we're at summer break camp day 3 today. We opened, doors opened Monday. We've had 88 kiddos 2 days, Monday and Tuesday. I think we were at 80 today from 10 to 2. Foxborough was kind of slow on Monday because it was raining, but they had about 7 kids yesterday, and probably about 10 or 15 today. So it's picking up out there. I'm glad we can offer some kind of programming out there to that park, right?
Good, because those kids can't go anywhere.
Yep. So we have our staff who picks up the lunches from Sandusky City Schools for us, circle around and go out to Foxborough and give them lunches too. So they're being fed and they have some programming. Erie Metro Parks visited them today with their turtle presentation. So that was pretty cool. And we got our field trips scheduled new this year. We're going 4 different field trips starting, what's the date for the first one?
Next Friday, no, sorry, the 27th.
27th. So on Fridays, between 27th and last one is August 1st. So we'll be visiting, let's see what we got. We got Maritime Museum,
Maritime Museum in one day, yeah, both those in one day.
one day, and then we have Back to the Wild, and then we have Erie Metro Parks Nature Center visit, and then finale on our last day of camp is August 1st. We're going out to Maple Crest Horse Farm in Castelia, so they'll do a bunch of different activities out there. But yeah, it's going to be a great summer for these kids.
We applied for a grant with the Erie County Community Foundation to cover that field trip component of that, so we're thankful for that. For that
I
funding.
don't know if this would be a hassle or not, but back in my day when I was involved with stuff, did the kids, or do you ever ask the kids if they'd like to go fishing?
Actually,
Just right here on,
actually, one of our chefs with Midtown Supper Club, Chef Bruce, works out to the Commons of Providence, and those kids are going to get an opportunity to go out there and fish on their property. But we can surely try to, and I'm sure it's a few of them that would like to, if not even to introduce it to them, would be something good. But
see, we used to go to Gibraltar. Yep. And I was fortunate enough to do extra time for other kids. These kids have never been in a boat, never been around the water, never been fishing.
Well, you
They
should-
were doing
you should-
it all, and camping.
well, you should try to. Let's talk.
No.
Let you lead that.
We-
Lead that one.
There is the Take the Kids Fishing Day this Sunday at Pearland Park, so that's an option as well. And we're looking to bring back the Living the Wildlife at Pipe Creek Camp, where we offer a fishing component of that too. I think Dante might have done that at one point, or helped.
Yeah, Sherry, think about it. That's all I got for summer.
All right, anything else under old business? Jason?
Just under new business, 2025 special events. This has kind of been the buzz lately with Tommy Boy Fest. Something that, if you're familiar with the movie, it was set in Sandusky, Ohio, but no one ever set foot to film it in Sandusky, Ohio. But it's kind of taken things by storm. I've never had more media requests for this, even with the eclipse last year. Just the buzz kind of around people really connect with this movie for some reason, and I have too, and there's quotes going back and forth in our office all the time from it. But it's a 3-day event where we're going to have we're going to have the movie showing, and the director actually from the movie is bringing a vehicle, the classic car. It's a 1967 Plymouth Belvedere 2 GTX that he had restored. And if you've ever seen the movie, the car goes through a transformation throughout the movie where it gets almost totaled. But looking forward to planning that. If you have any questions on that, we have the website, TommyBoyFest.com. We're still putting some things together and getting the director, and really had a lot of buzz. Talked to somebody from a Columbus radio station this morning. Talked to IdeaStream about it. So it's really kind of taken off. So we're looking forward to having an eclipse-like event here in August, 7th through the 9th. That should be good for the city and showing off, what our great community has. Any questions on that one? Park facilities and updates, parks and facilities updates, Chris?
If you haven't heard and if you haven't been down to the AMVETS in Sproul Park, we added a shade structure down there for families with some picnic tables underneath and some additional benches around the playground area. So that playground seems to get used quite a bit, especially during the evenings when there's baseball games going on by siblings and family members. So it was nice that we could add that as part of phase 2 of that project down at AMVETS. And then, as Mr. Schuyler said, coming in the door today, it's nice to see dirt being moved and the tennis courts are underway of being built over at the Old American Crayon site. They are still today, knock on wood, scheduled to be completed by the end of July. We did lose a couple days because of weather, but hopefully they'll be able to make them up. I'll have a progress report coming from the contractors on Monday.
Does that mean the rec center is a go and it's been approved and everything?
The rec center has not been officially approved yet. We are still in the process of working with the criteria architect. They will have a request for proposal put together by the end of June that'll go out and looking for a design builder. And then the bids will come in. That process will probably take us through the end of August and into September by the time we determine who the design builder might be.
Just as far as our greenhouse staff, they've been in Washington Park kind of putting the mounds together. If you've seen, there's a Lions Club mound, Knights of Columbus, the Lake Erie Love mound. We also have the stage up for tomorrow's party at the pier is happening, so the stage is down there. And then, did you want to talk about the half court at Whiteman Weber, JC?
At Whiteman, thanks for reminding me. Yes, so we recently recoded 3 basketball courts in town. We did the half court over at Whiteman Weber Park, and then the 2 full courts over at Farwell were recoded and restriped as well. So hopefully our basketball players in town will enjoy those updates at those particular parks.
And the push for that was I think we did a walkthrough at JC.
Right.
And got up to that half court, and somebody had made their own key on there, and got to thank the folks at Thorworks and Chris for getting that painted. It's a nice blue, like the one court at Scott May Courts, and the key is not just kind of drawn on there.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It's right on time, actually.
Yeah.
Both of those courts, Farwell, because of the Juneteenth event next Sunday, and then the half court at Whiteman Weber, that's good for the Juneteenth celebration at JC Park, because that's the entire park. So, and I guess that would be new business for those who don't realize that, but I noticed that we had it on the informational pamphlets that we give out. So it's a great thing. I've heard people will ask questions about, why so many events, and I'm saying I don't remember that many events. I remember one on Thursday, and I remember one on Sunday, right? My thinking is that as long as all of those individuals or entities who are having events actually coordinate times and they say, look, we're doing this on this particular day, we could use your support and vice versa. As long as that's happening, I'm good. Right, but a lot of times folks will get into that where we're stepping on toes. I understand that, but this is an entire weekend of Juneteenth events where students, children, teenagers can enjoy the days. So that's a beautiful thing.
Awesome.
Chris, back to your tennis court thing. Is there a chance that I can get out there with you sometime and talk to those people or have some questions? Or
Absolutely.
I stopped yesterday. I just pulled up. I did. I just pulled up yesterday.
I'm sorry?
I just pulled in yesterday afternoon.
Yeah, let's do it.
well, if you let me know that when something's going on,
Okay. Yes.
Hey, we want to do that for the rec center.
What's that?
Give our 2 cents.
When it's appropriate time.
I just thought I would jump in there, since you're special.
I could share. Thank you.
Absolutely.
That's all I had for parks and facilities updates.
Tim?
Tim Schwanger, 362 Sheffield Way. Just drove by the basketball courts on at the Farwell courts. Hey, they look pretty darn good. I don't know about that blue, but hey, whatever floats everybody's boat. Pardon?
What's wrong with it?
No, that's a bright blue. We're used to, the black pavement or maybe green, but the blue, that's okay. It's okay. So I'm a boater. I use the boat ramp twice a year, once to put it in, once to take it out. I've checked out the new ramps, the new docks, and it's my humble opinion, and there's other people that have the same opinion I do, that there needs to be some adjustments to those docks. I had a gentleman from Akron contact me. His name is Jamie, and I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Hoffee. It's Hoffee, and he's the coordinator for North Coast Offshore Power Boats. And he has a 325-member organization. He brings anywhere from 7 to 12 boats, go fast boats. I'm talking Miami Vice here. And 8 times a year, and they use our ramp exclusively. And he was here this past weekend, and that group also has some major issues with the new docks compared to the old docks. And I would invite everybody here, maybe not today, but sometime this week, to go down and talk to the manager of the boat ramp, because he's getting complaints as well. I brought it up at the city commission meeting Monday, and I was assured after the meeting by the city manager that it's going to get looked into, and hopefully some adjustments, some positive adjustments will be made. I told the gentleman from Akron, I said, I don't think they're going to take these boats back or these docks back and send them back to the manufacturer, but certainly we can do something with it. Again, if you get a chance to drive down, you'll probably see what the problem is. I just also drove by Kiwanis Park and Huron Park, and in both those parks, it looks more like a weed garden and a grass garden in the infield. So those need to be turned over. We have local teams, AMVET teams that use those parks, primarily Huron Park, for practice. And as a matter of fact, one of the gentlemen posted on his Facebook page that he contacted the city about turning over the dirt, and he was told that if you want the dirt turned over, that he'd have to pay the city to come and do it. So, I'm just passing things along here. I'm not, calling anybody a liar or whatever. We talked about the tennis courts out by the new rec center. Let's remind Battery Park, if we can, which is Marouche Brothers, that they have a responsibility to take care of the tennis courts at the old former City Hall. We've got grass overgrowing in that too, and I know that the courts aren't in the best condition, but there's still people that still use it, even in the deplorable condition they're in. I was asked to ask this group if they knew anything about when there might be a schedule for open swim at our new aquatic center for the high school. Rumor has it that they're having a hard time finding lifeguards. So I don't know if that's true or not. I'm just, again, passing things along.
Tim, I can speak to that if you want me to.
Oh, somebody can. Okay, I'm sorry, you're there.
I can speak to the pool schedule.
Okay.
It's supposed to be released next week.
Okay.
Why it hasn't been released yet, I don't know, but yes, I've talked to the health department and they said it would be released next week. And it should be on both the Sandusky City Schools website and the Erie County Health Department's website.
Super, thank you,
Okay.
appreciate it. The last question is, that you talked about the Tommy Boy event. Is this an event that our rec department is putting on, or is this something that has been handed over to Greater Sandusky Partnership as part of our $300,000 a year that we give to them?
I can answer that. That's a collaboration with us, Greater Sandusky Partnership and Shores and Islands.
Okay, but it's not going to be any cost to us? Any cost?
No, there's programming funds that go into it that
Okay.
we will allocate towards it, just like we did for the Eclipse.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Anything else?
I can address just as far as Kiwanis and Huron Park. I know Huron Park we did turn it earlier in the season. I can confirm that we turned that field earlier in the season, and weeds have grown up since then. And there's they have been sprayed, and we plan to drag it again to get those weeds out. Kiwanis Park is more on a Panther baseball schedule. So what we, with our prior use agreements with these organizations like AMVETS, the schools, Lady Lightning, and any of those prior use agreements, the city will turn that field at the beginning of the season when they're ready to start maintaining it. So when they're ready to start dragging it for their practices and their games, the city gets it ready at the start, so then we don't have this situation come up where we would drag it too early, and then they aren't going to maintain it, and then the weeds come back up again. We had that situation at AMVETS where we drug the 2 Sproul fields, and then, or no, we drug the Erie Blacktop field, and anyway, and the 2 Sproul fields, and then they didn't have anything dragging going on by the league that has the priorities agreement, and then it came back up again. So we went back out and we turned that. Did have somebody reach out regarding the Huron Park field. When they reached out, I think it was at noon on a day when they expected it to be turned by 6 o'clock that night. Our crew goes home at 3. I had advised that we get out there when we have the manpower and the equipment ready to go drag those fields. I did say in my message to that person, we do have the ability to rent fields. If you'd like to rent a field and get on a regular schedule, if you're going to be out there on a weekly basis and want to have that field turned more regularly than it is currently, you could rent that field, and it wasn't telling an individual that they need to pay for us to come out there to do it. We do manage those fields and we do maintain them, but right now, this time of year, we're focused on getting grass cut and trying to get weeds down, because this time of year, as you know in your own lawns, it doesn't stop growing right now. So we will address the Huron Park field that did get sprayed. The weeds are going to be killed, and then we'll get that drug again. And if there's any questions on that, let me know.
Got a quick question. Maybe Chris can answer this, maybe not. I was curious because I heard you say that a schedule will be released. Primarily, it's the Erie County Health Department that's partnered with the city schools for this schedule?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. I was just curious about whether or not you knew how the dialogue unfolded, where it started, how it proceeded, and ultimately how that decision was made for them to be at the center of the scheduling and planning of community use of the pool.
Yeah, I can't speak to that, Dr. Kuntz. I wasn't a part of that meeting or a part of those conversations. But I do know that they've met several times, because I talked to Mr. Carr over there, and they've had some meetings with the schools. But other than that, that's all I know.
Okay. Nobody,
School and the health department running the pool.
Correct.
Yep, the school is on the knowing what they need for the school side of things, and health department as far as their community programming that they have planned. Yep.
Richard, he is in the office, Steve's office. He has a desk in the back,
okay,
so.
Yeah, he's there daily now. I know.
Yeah.
I do know that.
okay. Just
And-
curious.
Back to Tim's question about the boat launch, we have been in contact with Mr. Hoffey. He's been in contact with the city manager, myself, and we're looking to make adjustments as per his request, so.
Gotcha.
All right, anything else?
That was open discussion.
I move we adjourn.
Next meeting's July 9th, 4:15. And I'm turning